welcome to my Yoga for Backs part 2. You can do this separately or with the previous one that I've done, so you can decide how much time you've got and what you'd like to do. But we're going to start by being on all fours. So this is called a tabletop spine. You want to have a nice flat back, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips and a straight spine. And we just want to gently roll up and gently roll down. So this continues the work that we were doing before. And if this is your first yoga session, you haven't done the previous one, that's absolutely fine. You just want to take it gently as you warm up and wake up the body. So this is really good for flexibility of the spine. And if you want to use your breath with the stretch, because that helps focus the mind, you exhale up and inhale back down. But everything is optional, just listen to your body. And then we're going to bring the hands a little bit further forwards and just rock forwards and backwards. So of course you can take it really slow and really small. And if you want to increase it a little bit more, inhale back over the heels, pause for a moment, and then exhale into cobra. Inhale back, exhale forwards, and just drop as far forwards as feels comfortable. If you've got any back issues, or your back is feeling tight, or you're new to yoga or haven't done yoga for a little while, just take it gently. So we're folding back and we're just sinking and dropping forwards as well. So breathing in, breathing out, using your breath with the stretch. There is also variation. You can slide forwards up the mat if you want to. And this uses your arms and shoulders a little bit more. So you can, if you want to, do that. Let's fold back into child pose. You want to drop your forehead down, bring the arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. And this is a really nice restorative pose. So this is great if you're feeling tired or depleted. It really opens out the spine, is really good for any back issues. Let's come back onto all fours, and then let's have nice wide knees and wide hands. So if you haven't got a mat, you're just on a carpet or you're on a rug or a towel, have your hands and knees a little bit wider than your body and have your big toes touching, and we're going to do some clockwise circles. So all we're doing here is just breathing in, just breathing out. So when you've done a few times in each direction, just noticing if there's one direction that feels a little bit tighter than the other, then come back onto all fours. Keep the knees wide, big toes touching, and have your hands a bit further forwards. So just as we did before, rocking forwards and backwards, just see if you can do the same with your wide knees. So gentle version is literally just rolling forwards and backwards a few inches, and if you can, drop the hips down. So this is really good for the lower back and opens out the hips. So do persevere if you haven't done this before or if it feels quite hard work, but remember you can rest at any point. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's fold back over the heels and stretch the arms out long and tall. And the key with this is to try and drop your chest down and try and drop your chin or your forehead down and wiggle your arms that little bit longer. So the aim is to flatten the body down towards the ground. And just pause. As I've said in my other videos, it's all about breathing, trying to breathe in for the count of 4 and breathe out for the count of 6. So relaxing the face, relaxing the jaw. We're just breathing in, we're just breathing out. We're going to do something called threading the needle. So we're going to slide the right arm underneath the left. This is very good for twisting and opening out the spine. Either keep the arms straight or bring your hands into prayer position and twist round as far as you can. Let's swap sides. Sliding the right arm forwards and threading the needle, left arm is underneath. You can either keep the arms straight or you can bring the hands into prayer position. So we're just twisting round, breathing in, breathing out. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Let's push back up onto all fours. So we're going to curl the feet underneath and push back into downward dog. So just to begin with, we're pedaling one heel up and one heel down. So spread the fingers and spread the palms of the hands. Push away with the hands, push away with the arms, and have your head between your upper arms. You want to try and keep the spine straight, and then with one foot up, one foot down, pedal the heels. Now, downward dog is one of the best poses for any back issues. It's really, really good. And then we're going to come up onto our tiptoes. Take a big deep breath in, and as you sigh it out, roll those heels down. So push away with the hands, push away with the arms, try to bring those heels down. And let's do it again, one more time. Big deep breath in and slowly sigh it out as you just roll those heels down. So if you're new to yoga or haven't done it for a little while, it may be that you can only stay on your tiptoes, that's absolutely fine. But little by little, they will slowly come down to the ground. And then, looking, you want to have your knees facing forwards, your feet facing forwards. We're just breathing in, we're just breathing out. So you want to have your feet hip width apart, your knees hip width apart, and just lengthening, stretching, and releasing. Can you feel the whole body opening out? Big deep breaths in, long, slow, deep breaths out. Feel the whole body lengthening. So we want to extend the right leg off the ground, either just a few inches or pointing it up, or all the way up towards the ceiling. So you decide how far you want to stretch. Try to keep the hips square and straight. If anything feels too much, just ease off and relax. You can watch at any point or keep both feet down. Slide the right knee forwards, drop the right knee down, and slide your left leg back. So we're coming into what's called a pigeon pose. If you have any hip issues, you can keep your foot tucked underneath. Otherwise, wiggle your foot across the mat and just fold down. Take a big deep breath in and a long, slow, deep breath out, and really feel your body sinking and softening down. It feels really nice to do. It's a great restorative pose. It's one of the best poses for any back issues, for the sciatic muscle and nerve as well. So this is really good for treatment and prevention of sciatica, and it also helps us breathe more deeply. So here we have our solar plexus. We're bending over our bent knee and we're just folding down. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's push up onto fingertips and tilt the chin. This is called seated pigeon. Remember, with yoga, we stretch deeply in one direction and deeply in the other. Try and bring your fingertips towards you. Come up onto your fingertips and bring your hands, if you want the stronger version, into prayer position. The key with seated pigeon is to get a lovely arch and open out the shoulders. Let's come back onto all fours. Let's do some arching and rounding. And let's curl the feet underneath and push back into downward dog. So again, look behind you, check that your feet and your knees are hip width apart and facing forwards. Push away with the hands, push away with the arms, and really try to lengthen the spine, extending the left leg out behind us without twisting the hips. So pushing away, lengthening and stretching, you decide how far you want to lift. We're breathing deeply in, we're breathing deeply out, and then we're just going to slide the left knee forwards. If you can, if it's comfortable, wiggle the left foot across the mat, slide your back leg back as far as it goes, sink the body down and fold down over your bent knee. And you really don't want to twist the hips. This is a really good stretch, as I said before, for treatment and prevention of sciatica and helps us breathe more deeply. If you want to test if you're in the right position, you can bring your hands onto your lower back. If you wiggle and wobble from side to side, you need to change your centre of balance. But if you're flat and straight, that should be absolutely fine. You want to be as flat as you can. Imagine a steamroller rolling down into the mat. So you're softening and sinking down to the ground. Breathing and holding. As I said, this puts a little bit of pressure in the solar plexus. It helps with knots and anxiety and stress. Also very good for digestion. And we're going to push up into seated pigeon. So fingertips, light pressure on the ground and arching back into a lovely crescent moon. And just tilt the chin upwards. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Let's swing the right leg forwards. That was the leg that was back behind us. And just do a little seated forward bend. Lift the arms up and slowly fold forwards and down. Hold it for as long as is bearable. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Come all the way up and roll the shoulders. Let's twist towards our bent left knee. Seated side bend. Lift the left arm up and over the head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, and then have a little counter stretch and arch in the other direction. Pressing down on your left knee and left hand, and then slowly coming to facing forward, swap legs. Left leg out in front of us, right foot is tucked in. We're lifting the arms up tall, big deep breath in and a long slow deep breath out, just dropping forwards and down. Can you feel the spine stretching? Now remember, if your spine is tight, it's absolutely fine just to rest your hands on your knee. Keep the shoulders down. You can pulse forwards and backwards if you want to. We're just sliding a little way down. And remember, these do get easier. The seated forward bends are called the surrender poses. So the more we can soften into them, the easier it gets. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Come all the way up and roll the shoulders. We're going to twist towards that bent right knee. Bring the right arm up to the ceiling. You want to lift it up as tall as you can and then bring it over the head. Close the eyes or look up towards the ceiling. We don't want to look down, we'd be collapsing. This is really good for the hips. And a knock-on effect, because we're like a puppet, it helps the lower back as well. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Slowly come to face forwards. And we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together and just do some really nice rolling and pulsing up and down with the knees. So think about opening out the lower back. We're going to just bring the feet forward, sit upright and tall, and slide the arms underneath. So it's totally fine just to bring the hands down, then fall down, but if you can, bring your forearms down. So this might take a little bit of practice, but it's really satisfying to do. And what it does, it lengthens out the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up and roll those shoulders. Fantastic. We're going to do something called the half boat. Hug the knees in, have the toes on the ground, have your hands behind the back of the thighs. So we're wanting to look up towards the ceiling, and remember to keep that spine nice and straight. Lifting the toes off the ground, lengthening the legs if you can do, breathing in, breathing out. And then extending the arms wide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Now, if that feels really painful and too much, please do the gentle version. So the toes can stay on the ground and you can just stay holding the back of the thighs. And this strengthens the lower back, but also our core stomach muscles as well. So you can, if you want to, just stay holding the back of the thighs. If you bring your arms out wide, it's quite a bit stronger. You don't want to feel any strain or spraining here. Just come and sit down and then roll the shoulders. And you can do a nice little counter stretch, just rolling backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come and lie down on our backs again, as we did in the first video, the first part of our yoga for backs, and hug the knees in. Gently rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back into the ground, one hand on each knee. Just do some lovely little circles a few times in each direction, and then with wide knees. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bring the legs pointing up to the ceiling. Resting the hands on the stomach, you really want to press the lower back into the ground. Just do some nice scissors across the body. If you want to work harder and connect more with your core stomach muscles, allow your legs to lower a little bit further away from you. So any inverted posture is great for the toning of the legs, great for lymphatic system, great for the blood and the circulation, really helps with heavy, restless legs. Let's bring both legs pointing up and do some nice scissors. So again, we're really gluing that lower back into the ground. And we want to try a few times in each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in. Take a big deep breath in and sigh it out. Now bring the legs up to the ceiling. Either stay like this, or anybody who wants to roll back into plough, you can give it a go. You want to have your hands on your lower back to support you and your legs be long and straight. Now if it feels painful, absolutely roll it out, or just hug your knees in, or keep your legs pointing up to the ceiling. And you can actually do this with your legs against a wall at home as well. But plough is a brilliant pose. You can see the shape that it makes. So it really stretches out where it's really solid and tight. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And eventually you may find that your feet can touch the ground and your arms can be straight. It's really, really good to do at the end of a little session as well, or a sequence, because it brings lots of fresh blood, fresh oxygen into the head and brain. So it may take a bit of practice. Don't worry if your feet don't come all the way down, but do keep your hands on your lower back, just to support you if you want to. Slowly rolling out, lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs, take a big deep breath in and sigh it out. Slowly, slowly come and sit up, and that's the end of part 2. There'll be lots more coming up in the near future. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you again soon.